Hi everyone. Okay, so um I decided I did say before that I'm gonna do the um Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I started with Killjoy already and I did that vlog already. So I've got the other three books in the series to do as a reading vlog for you. And am I excited? Yes, I am. Sorry. I actually have, I know you can't see, but down here is actually my book trolley fell apart. So the other half and I, we moved all the book trolley stuff, we kept the platforms, and I just put it all on the floor and put the books I wanted to read this year in them. So, moving aside from there, I have picked up obviously A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Now, I, as I said, I don't remember if I said it in Killjoy, but I'm gonna say it now just in case. I've not read this series. I haven't watched the TV series ever. I have it all recorded on my TV box, ready for me to watch. I really wanted to knock out the book first because you get like the comparison, I guess. I really wanted to see the book first. um, but I have no idea what I'm going into. It just says on the back, because this is the collector's edition, and I did have the paperbacks, but I sold them as soon as I got the collector's edition. And on the back, all it says is the case is closed. Everyone knows he did it, but she's about to prove them all wrong. So I'm pretty sure from what I read in Killjoy is that there were two kids that were, or at least one of them was murdered and the other one committed suicide. It was like a boyfriend girlfriend, and the boyfriend was accused of killing his girlfriend, and then he committed suicide. Case was closed. Pretty sure in this one she's actually reopening the case and reinvestigating, having realized that if I'm Killjoy, like not everything is as it seems, kind of thing, I guess. So I'm really excited to go into it. I read the Housemaid series at the beginning of the year and I enjoyed that. I read Killjoy and I did enjoy that as well. So I'm gonna be reading this one as well, and I know I'm gonna enjoy it probably too. I did hear it like goes down a little bit in later in the series, but we'll just have to see how I feel about it when I get there. I do have all the books, and I just love these editions, so that makes me even more excited. Um, yeah, so that's that. This is going to be still a spoiler vlog because obviously most people already read this anyway, and those that haven't, I'm terribly sorry to skip over them. Or at least skip to the end, I guess maybe, and then you'll see the review, like my rating. But overall, I'm super excited to get in here. I can't wait to read them. I've already figured out how I'm gonna like how the reading is gonna go. Yeah, and I wasn't gonna start until tomorrow technically, but I'm too eager and I want to start today. So good luck to me, I guess. Oh, I'm excited, guys. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm super excited. And I have changed the angle so you can see these three bookshelves because I have stuff on the other one that isn't books. But yeah. So yeah, I'm so excited, guys. Wish me luck. Okay, so I have read like my first 10 chapters or so. Um, yeah. Um, as a rough basis, I got that Pip is trying to get, she's doing her work project on the Andy Bell case. I guess she actually wants to see what really happened, I guess. And my hair has gone nutty today. I am so sorry. I didn't even know what happened there. There we go. Kinda. So I kind of enjoyed the idea that she wants to find out what really happened to this gal that's not actually had no, I mean she was declared as dead already, but there's no body, no evidence that she's actually dead. Um for someone that watches a lot of like Criminal Minds and stuff, I can honestly say that it doesn't matter if you have blood or anything because from what I've seen and other things that I've read, you can easily um do all of that and still be alive and fake your own death. So, I mean, now that's in my head for reading this. Honestly, I feel like I'm taking on a whole different perspective. I feel kind of like a detective. Um, I love that she's making like telephone interviews. She's trying to get like in-person interviews. Um, I also did notice that it said in her form at the beginning that like she's not allowed to interact with the families or anything, but she kind of went right up against that and Yeah, I noticed that. She went straight to Ravi for an interview. Um, yeah, but though she got the interview with him, obviously. I also did like that she's been like scouring social media, and she like when she's putting up her like product process log, she's putting like all of the where she gets all of her information. I do like the mixed media, so we've got like the actual production log itself where she's just typing it out. You've got the telephone interview, she's wrote that out differently, and then you've got like the social media aspect, because there was a bit in there where it's like got straight from Facebook, like a Facebook post where there was comments and likes on there, that was in there. Oh, and the texting as well, like like the whole media changes, like the whole writing style, and I really did like that. Or did I do like that? It's quite cool. um in all honesty, after you see some of the interviews, like the one she made with the reporter, I can see the inconsistencies in the case as well. Like some of it doesn't make sense, and as you keep going, like you can see like so Ravi's brother is the one that's accused. You can see like he's actually quite a smart kid, so some of the stuff don't make sense. And like also, if he was gonna really, like, no offense, abduct his girlfriend and kill her, he probably would have been a lot more smarter about it and wouldn't leave such obvious evidence on himself. I did also like that Ravi brought over his brother's phone and was like, "Yeah, we could look through it." And there was a note in there that was like they thought was a car license plate. I'm not sure if that really is or isn't. I feel like those numbers. Well, the whole thing is doesn't. So yeah, I'm at a point where I'm like, I can see why she wanted all these interviews to get a better aspect of both people. There is a lot of inconsistencies though. So like, and a lot of things the friends are saying, like the dad that was having an affair. There's a secret older guy. Um, what else was there? That she keeps having money, and she keeps, and like the girl used to play with their emotions and things. Like she used to mess with them basically. With all that in mind, like is Andy actually like a nice person? So I'm not saying one of the girls was like, I'm not saying she deserved it, but like it kind of, I was like, wow, that's deep. But the fact is, she's not a nice person. So the media put her in a better light. I mean, I think media does that anyway when things like this happen. But the fact is that it was interesting to see the different aspects. It feels like a full on, like a whole investigation that she's doing. And I do feel like Pitt wants to try and get to the real conclusion of what really happened to Andy. And like it's just weird. And I mean, like her suspect list, it went from like just the dad to to Andy's dad, Naomi, which is her friend's sister, this older random dude. So it's just starting to build up, and then like the interviews with the friends, it doesn't fully felt like they'd. I mean, I get that it's meant to be like 5 years prior, but like things like that make big differences in your lives. You don't just forget like information. That might be small things, like you might have forgot what you had in the morning for breakfast type thing, but there are things that you would never forget. And I noticed that when she interviewed his friends, Naomi said one thing and then Max said something else, which she noticed as well. And she was like, I get it's like 5 years later, but still. Hmm. So I mean, now I'm feeling like maybe we should suspect Max, because I feel like he really changed like the outcome of that situation, like what it could have been. Like he, in his limelight of what he said, changed everything. Like, yeah, maybe he's trying to cover up something. So for me, he's quite suspicious already. I haven't started chapter 11 yet, obviously, because I wanted to talk to you guys first. But I mean, I'm quite enjoying it. I feel like, yeah, she's just fully making me feel like she's like a little investigator right now. And I love that she agreed to work with Ravi about it. Like that was kind of cute. And I still like the snippets to where we go to like, okay, she's at camping with her friends right now. Um, they're literally, I guess, it's like, yeah, for her friend's birthday. It's probably evening ish, I'm guessing. And yeah, so they're kind of like telling ghost stories and whatnot. And I do notice that they keep using the girl as like a ghost story and stuff. I noticed it in Killjoy, but I kept mentioning it like, oh, the only murderer here is like the boy, and then like it's probably her ghost, or But the reality is like they need to stop using it so much. I mean, I get it if you grow up in a town, like if you grew up in the last 5 years with it, I get that, but like that's still that's meant to be, that's still someone else's family, that's still someone's daughter. You can't use it like that. Um Also, the character that used it, I didn't really like him in Killjoy either. So I mean, I don't like him now either. But yeah, so I am super excited to keep going. It's taking, like, I was meant to do this for you yesterday, this talk, and I just completely forgot. I just had a whole pajama day and was not feeling it yesterday, so I'm doing it for you now. But yeah, so I'm super excited to keep going. Um, um, my theory so far is that I have no idea who really did it. Um, I do like that Pip and Ravi are going to work together. That's kind of cool. Um, and I do notice that she's kind of going against what she's supposed to be doing. I think she's only said that she's only going to lay it all out as like informational wise, as a case study. But the reality is, she actually kind of trying to investigate it. So I kind of like that aspect. I like that she doesn't seem to take things lightheartedly. Like she's yeah, she wants to get through it all. Like she wants to get all the answers and like make sure like it is what it is. So as she said, there's no guarantee at the end she'll find out that he really isn't the killer, but she just wants to get all the facts. There are inconsistencies, gaps missing. That doesn't make sense. Like, why would he keep ringing his girlfriend's phone if he knew she was dead over 100 times? Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I can get the inconsistency. I mean, if you knew you killed someone, I don't think you'd ring them 100 times. Maybe a couple, but not 100. Yeah, I kind of get that theory. I mean, I would never go killing someone, but the point is, I'm pretty sure that if it were the case, I probably wouldn't call them 100 times. Maybe like 10 or 20, but not 100. Actually, it said it was 112 or something, so it was even over 100 times. That's a lot. Like even I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't even call anyone now over 100 times. So, but yeah, so I'm really interested in seeing how this is going to play out. I'm super excited for the next set of chapters for myself. Yeah, I'm trying to read it slower, only because I want to like take all the information in and not just be like, oh, oh. Like I want to make sure I've got all the information and absorbed it quickly. Not joking, not quickly. I want to make sure I've got it absorbed. So yeah, I'm super excited to carry on. If you couldn't tell, and I'm quite liking it. If you couldn't tell. So yeah, I'll see you guys when I do my next update. Hi everyone. Okay, so I have read some more of Good Girls Guide to Murder. Sorry, I was having a moment of blankness there. So where we are. Um, so where I'd left off last time, they were camping. It and Pip thought she saw someone. Then they all started chasing them, like this person. They don't know who it is, but um, the same person left a note in her sleeping bag. That seems weird. Like, how would they even know it was her sleeping bag? Like, were they just like watching continuously? I don't know. Also, I noticed that she added like her friend's dad onto the list of suspects at one point. I mean, he's now removed. She asked him about um why the girl was like cussing him, and he was like, because she was a bully, and like, I told her dad, and he obviously said that I was the informant. Makes sense. Um but now I'm starting to wonder, like, who could have wrote that note to her that they left in her sleeping bag? Like, who would have done that? And it could have been one of her friends because they were all there. But at the same time, like, it wouldn't make sense. Like, one of them would have to know more. I don't know. Still food for thought, I guess. Um, Also, I don't feel as surprised about that Andy being a bully. Like, it kind of suits for the narrative that we're getting from her about like the way she treats her friends. Um, I think the way she treated like Sal, I think that it kind of like it fits the narrative of who she was. And I mean, from the sounds of it, she wasn't exactly the nicest of people. And then for what she did, I'm surprised that they didn't want to press charges against her. Like, I'm pretty sure there's still child indecency and stuff, so that was a bit weird. But yeah, it did sound like she really enjoyed upsetting and hurting people just because she could. Yeah. And then I noticed that we added two new suspects to our list, which was the girl that she was bullying and the girl's brother, because she said that, yeah, like, yeah. What? This is so random. But we're getting new people in the list. I mean, the girl did seem pretty angry, and she left a threatening note in her locker before, the one that the reporter had said about. And then we get like her sister as well, just popped in, kind of thing. And it was weird because the sister seemed to like be open at one point, and then she suddenly closed off. I felt so weird. Like she was open just a second ago about it, and now suddenly she's closed off. As soon as they mentioned the dad, she closed off. And then the fact that she then interviewed that the sister's friend, who has the same name as me, so that was cool. um, I get that. Uh, I get that. Yeah, that the friend said that the dad was quite a bully himself. Like he made comments about like their weight, their looks, things like that, and it just yeah. So it kind of made sense of why Andy became a bully because yeah, a lot of people in those environments they become the same way themselves. There's like a statistic on that. I didn't want to Google that because I didn't really want to see, but a lot of people that come from like abusive homes, there's like a percentage, not like a high percentage, but it's like a fair percentage that they themselves become abusers or repeat the same pattern or stay in the same pattern. So they'll find someone else with the same qualities of the said abuser from the previous. So there's like a whole statistics on there, and I do know it already because I saw it somewhere else on another documentary, but then I've completely forgotten what the statistics are, and I really didn't want to Google them because I didn't want to get upset over that. Also, because she'd asked under the Freedom of Information Act to get the interview for the interview that Sal had with the police. She finally got that, and yeah, it didn't look great. I'm not even gonna lie. Like he did not. He was definitely keeping secrets and trying to be evasive about it all. And yeah, I can guess why she didn't want to tell Ravi about that one. Um, then we have like the whole could her secret boyfriend be that Max guy? Like, why? And then he has a picture of her as well that he says he found in a classroom. So then I'm back on the theory like, could the elder guy be an actual teacher if it was just randomly shoved in the back of the classroom? And then I was like, well, could it really have been of her and not that Nat girl that she'd done that to? So like, there was like new questions coming up, but then I don't think that in the end, I didn't really think that Max was like a secret boyfriend. I do just think that he was just like her customer. um, because although there is still something about him that doesn't quite sit right with me, like I don't quite like the way he's sitting, you know? Like it ain't it's not nah, it's not doing good. But I feel like he kind of only knew her for like her drug dealing, which was a big shock. Like, what? But then it made sense. She had cash all the time. So that does make sense now as to why she had the cash. So yeah. I feel like we're getting answers and then we're getting answers that cause us more questions. Um, but then like so to find out about that, she went to a party to see if she could find the drug dealer. And the guy she ends up talking to that tries to force himself on her, I'm so glad that she pushed him away from her and said no and walked off, basically. Like, some guys are just douches and don't know how to take no as an answer, and that's still a thing that we have to deal with to this day. So, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't matter how old you are, guys just do it. But then I do still think that she was stupid for following the drug dealer down the street on her own, not even in the car, on her own. Okay, you're literally investigating this other girl's disappearance and death. You're investigating the case. And yeah, you're following a drug dealer on your ones. Don't know where he's going. In the dark, so no one knew where you were. How, the girl isn't always smart, okay? But then it was like when she got there, the license plate that the brother had in his notes, it was obviously on the car, the drug dealer's car. So that makes sense now. They don't really need to look that up anymore because they already got the answer, right? And I love that she called Ravi to come in with her and be like, let's do the interview together. And she was like blackmailing the drug dealer because she took pictures. Also, in one of those pictures was the guy that was the reporter that covered all the stories, like all the stories during the case. And then he's also dating her sister. More suspicious behavior. It's all sussy. So yeah, I feel like I have way more questions than I do answers. Like, a lot. Like, now we're trying to figure out about the second phone. Could it still be in her room? But then she can't go to the house because she's not really meant to go there. And the sister told her to keep him out of it. So now this is going to be hard. Yeah, I am intrigued to see how this is going to go. I'm like probably just before halfway, would we say? Maybe. I'm super intrigued to see how this is going to go. This has got me quite the bafflement, and I'm so excited to see the rest. I'm super excited. No, I really am excited, actually. I had to get, as soon as I'd finished reading it, I come down over here to give you guys my update, and then I was like, okay, so now I'm going to go back to reading. So let's see what else we get up to. Hi everyone. Okay, so we have read up to chapter 31. Oh my lord. I feel like so much has happened. Darren is here. That's why you can hear him in the corner. So overall, so far, we have Pip has had like 4 like warning, threatening messages. Like, one was where someone broke into a house. That's the most recent one. Oh, broke into a house and into her, like in the school, put it through her locker. Then she had it, obviously, the note in her sleeping bag, and what was the other one? From a sleeping bag. And she got the text message. So that's crazy. How did this person get her number? I loved that her and Ravi broke into Andy's house just to see if they could find the second burner phone. That was so strange. And then I love how she was trying, from picking up like the diary, the planner, they got like, she's been writing in code, and they're trying to work out what all these things mean, and they were like, one could be a hotel. So yeah, there's that. I'm getting quite confused, to be quite honest. Not gonna lie, there's like so much going on at one time that it's sometimes a little bit hard to keep up with for me, but I'm getting there. What probably makes it harder for me is that it's in third person. Okay, it's all in third person POV, and I'm not normally someone that can like vibe with third person POV. So I'm doing pretty well. Like, yeah, this is how much is left. So I'm so close to the end. I'm super excited to see that, like, the end. Also, those parties that they used to have, like that Max was roofing girls. What? Actually, for his character, that kind of makes sense to me. Like, I think he's a dodgy dude already, so kind of goes with the character that I kind of assumed he was. I feel like he should be like the prime suspect. Like, he needs to be in bold. And even by the end of these chapters, I still feel the same. Like, he hit someone while drink driving. And that's the only reason why they all lied, because they were in the car and the guy's paralyzed for life. So, yeah. That's why they lied as well. That's not a good enough reason, to be quite honest with you. You're meant to be friends with this kid. You were meant to be his friends, and you lied to the police. You deleted all pictures that you took with him that evening. So you're well aware he's innocent, which has been proven anyway, because Pip found a photo and it said on Naomi's phone the time, and she was like, well, if those 4 were in the photo, who's taking the photo? Obviously we know who's taking the photo. So yeah. And then her and Rav reenacted what would have happened if he did go and commit the crime. And she was like, he would need at least an hour to do so. He didn't have enough time. So that already makes him even more innocent than he was before. I did like, though, that she used Naomi's login to get that picture from, like, Max's Facebook. That was kind of ingenious, outside the box kind of thinking. What else was there? Yeah, I was super peed off about that they lied entirely. That really did anger me. And to be fair with you, the only one that was like, I get they were all drunk and all 4 of them were in their car, yeah, but the only person that was driving was actually Max. So the only one that would really, really get arrested for drink driving would actually be Max. They would all just be done as accomplices, right? Yeah. So though they would still get in trouble, like a lot of it, it wouldn't be as bad as what Max would have faced, especially if the guy had, like, you know, not made it. So he made them all feel worse. And that's why Naomi can't go anywhere without crying, because she's got all these secrets. That poor girl. Yeah. I feel like our top of the suspect list should be Max. And then maybe Nat. Nat and Daniel should probably be the same, actually, because it just doesn't make sense. She is violent, but he's a copper, so he could cover up stuff anyway. It makes sense that he could do that, because he'd have access to crime scenes. So, yeah. And I'm not sure the dad thing, I mean, I think we still need to have, like, I don't know if she'll get that moment, but I feel like we need to still talk with the dad. Like, there's a lot there that needs unpacking in general with the way he is. Like, he still could have done it himself, because she pointed out that he referred to, like, he was like, she was, like, the life of the house, not she is, in one of his TV conferences. So he already used past tense. So he's already aware that either she ain't coming back or she's already gone. So, yeah, it doesn't add up fully. Yeah. So I'm super intrigued to see how this is gonna go. I know there's not, like, loads left. I'm trying to be careful with the dangly bit because the cat likes the dangles. But I only have, like, a little bit left, which is about another 20 chapters, and then I'll be done. I'm super excited to see, because like I said, there's just so much in there. And yeah. And hopefully, although you're not going to know this, like, when you see it, it'll be hopefully done. But tomorrow, Darren will have his update for you for Satan's Affair. Ooh. But other than that, yeah. So let's get to the next set and see what happens. Okay, so I'm now, like, yeah, the next set of chapters that I read, and oh my lord, I still feel like we should have Max as our number 1 suspect. At this point, I'm like, I don't trust him. He should be our number 1 suspect. But then I feel like Daniel as well was, like, a close second. Just from knowing that he had access to the house and things. Sorry, my TV is on. Knowing that he had access to the house, like, even before she went missing, I feel like it's a probably definite conflict of interest, him working the case as well as being friends with her dad. So he could have gone in her room anyway and took out her second phone. I feel like, yeah, he's definitely a close second. Even the dad, maybe, like, If he's that close with the guy, yeah, no. And do we ever get to find out what that third thing is that when Andy put on her thing like 3-1 to her over Nat? I don't get that one. Um, at this point, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not quite sold on her being dead. I can't lie. I don't think she's dead. I think that she's just hiding. I wouldn't be surprised if she killed Sal herself and then just kind of disappeared and pretended that he'd killed her and then he killed himself out of guilt. That wouldn't surprise me at all at this point. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm just not sold on her being fully gone, that dead. Also, I did notice that Daniel's wife kind of made an implication that Daniel has cheated on her before. Now, we already have this thing where Andy said that she's been dating an older guy and that she can ruin him. But the wife pointed out that that when she was talking to Pitt, she was like, "You're a bit younger than his usual." So maybe it wasn't quite what, I don't know. There was definitely a hint there. I feel that we need to keep in mind. Not 100% sure, but I think we need to keep that in mind. Um, Also, oh my gosh, so this is definitely going to affect my end rating because I'm a big animal lover. But what the frick? Okay, did someone take Barney at this point? Like, what the hell? We get to the point where like she's gone for the walk and she lets him off lead. Now, why would you do that anyway? Why would you let your dog off lead in the evening and then put your headphones in? I know it's a like a small village, yeah, but you've got to be cautious of this. And you know that there's a killer around. You're investigating the case, so you are aware that there is a killer around. You've been getting threatening messages. You're aware of these things. Why did you let your dog off lead? And then when he didn't come back, my first response was, "Oh no, someone took him." I mean, to be fair, for a while there, I did think he just probably walked off. But then we had it confirmed that uh, we had it confirmed that they took Barney, and yeah, and then straight after, basically, when she did what they asked, destroying all the evidence, it turned out he was dead. Now, who would do that? Why would you kill the dog? What the hell? That made me upset. I mean, I'm glad I didn't have to read that bit like that. Like it wasn't like I saw what happened on that side. But still, you can't make promises and not keep with them. That's not right. That was horrible and very unfair. I got a bit sad because I liked Barney. I thought he was hilarious. Um, but then like because of that, I get that why Pip wanted to stop investigating because obviously they took Barney and yeah, they killed him. And then I understand her reasoning. Like, if they could break into a house, they can get to her at school. They took her dog. They could have done it. They could have just walked in the house in the evening and, hurt someone in the family. I get that, but she should have told Rav the reason why. Like, I don't feel like he had to be kind of like, I don't know. I feel like she kind of brushed the whole situation off with him, and I felt like she could have definitely have told him what was going on. She shouldn't have kept that one. But I'm really glad that he figured it out himself. Like he came back the next day, gave her his laptop, and was like, "Yeah, so it's because of the dog, right? They took the dog." It was just how it took him a while to get there, but he got there. I was so, and I just thought it was cute that he was like, "Well, you can use my laptop, and we can keep it a secret, so no one knows that we're still working on it, and just type out what you can remember." She's like, "I emailed it all to myself. What do you think I am?" What was it? There was something. There was definitely a word they used, and he was like, "No, you're definitely a cautious Karen." That was made me laugh. Um, but I did like that they printed it all out and made it like a murder board. So like, the only downside to that was obviously Now, this person has already broken into a house once. If they decide to break into a house again and see the murder board, they'll know that it was all a big lie. So there was a little bit of flaw there, I guess. Because what if they're broken again? Or what if they do before the end of the book? Although there's not much left of the book at this point. I've got like a little bit left. But yeah. And then I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel because she'd clocked that the number that Naomi was using is the number that Andy scribbled out in her the school planner. Does that make Naomi back to being a suspect again? Like that doesn't. No, I don't. I, I'm just so confused at this point. Like I feel like Naomi definitely shouldn't be a suspect. Like she's only really guilty for taking the alibi away for that lie, and I think she really feels that guilt already. But then she doesn't like unless she was like secretly in love with Sal. There was no reason for her to even be talking to Andy, really. Uh oh, yeah, yeah. At by the point I've stopped at, um, we worked out that it was Elliot that had actually, which is Naomi's dad. He typed out the notes and left them for Pip. So he's the one that's been leaving some of the threatening messages for all of them. So he's the one leaving these messages for her. This is even more confusing. I feel like I'm getting more questions than I am answers right now. There's no answers. I thought we took Elliot and Naomi like off the list. I don't feel like we can have Naomi back on the list now. But Elliot now he's on the list at top bold number one. Kind of goes over Max now because I mean I would have thought Max was the one that was threatening her, but apparently not. So now, what's happening? What's going on? I'm confused. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to finish it and find out. Okay, it's official. I finished it. Yeah. Uh, I have finished the whole thing. Okay, I feel like we have a lot to unpack here in this little segment, as well as my rating. As I said, I definitely still think that the only reason my rating is a little lower is because of the dog scene. Because if I put that aside, it would have been a really like I probably would have had it. That's like the next whole star. But because of the dog scene, and I'm a big animal lover, I couldn't give it that star. So yeah, that's the only reason why it's a little bit down. But putting that aside, we're gonna get into the whole my thoughts as I read the last set of chapters. So I did notice that Pip is kind of a scary kind of smart. Like she's trying to think of how to word it. Like that she turned on the find your friend just to leave her phone in the car in like Elliot's car so she can track it. Like I don't think normal people think that stuff through. I would never have thought of that, you know. So that was fun. Uh, and I did notice like even throughout the whole book, like so we're at like trick or treating, the kids are trick or treating, and the mums are like like giving him side eye, like Ravi's side eye, and yeah, talking about him behind his back. I don't like that. I know that the whole town thinks that his brother killed that girl, like Andy, but that doesn't mean you treat the whole family that way, regardless, even if he did or didn't. Although we have already kind of proven he hasn't, because there's no way he would have been able to do so. But putting that aside, the whole town shouldn't be treating everyone in the family like that. It's not their fault. You know, they can't control one that like you can't do that. You know, so that was kind of wrong. I feel like that like this village is kind of like fed into the whole he's the killer kind of thing. Like as I said before, when I read Killjoy, they made jokes about oh well the only murderer here is like Sal. That was so wrong. Like yeah, rude. Um, so I already think that Andy's alive at this point. Okay, so where I'm at the point I'm reading from at this moment, I already thought Andy was still alive, and I started thinking that it was did Elliot keep her in his house? But it turned out he didn't. Obviously, he had a random girl in his house that he thought was her because he thought he killed her. The heck? So he was having an affair with her. Slept with her twice, by the way. So he's the older guy. I still don't think Max is fully in the clear, though. There's something dodgy about him, too, though. Although we know kind of what's happened at this point. So with Elliot, he slept with her twice, and then they argued, and she smacked her head off of his table or his desk in his house, and then she just left. So he had her phone still because it dropped. Okay, so that doesn't quite tell you at that point. It doesn't tell you how she died there. But then he killed Sal to cover up because he thought he killed Andy. So he framed Sal. That's wrong. Okay, this kid looked up to you and trusted you, and you did that to him. But then I thought he had her in his house. Like, I was like, maybe she's been so does that mean that? And then at that point, I was like, wait, so that meant Elliot would have killed Barney. He didn't. By the way, he had no idea about that. Like, he didn't know about that stuff because there's actually two killers at this point. So the girl in his loft is not Andy. It's a random girl that he drove past one time, and she looked so similar that he thought it was her. Brought her back, kept her locked up, and was like, "You're this person. You're from here." She isn't. She's just some innocent girl that's wrong place, wrong time type situation. Poor thing. Turns out Barney's death was an accident. Okay, she was like, the actual person that took him was like, I did let him go, and he must have really fell in the river. I'm really sorry. Like, that was not supposed to happen. So I'm terribly sorry. That doesn't bring Barney back though, does it? So there's that. And then I think I was just a bit more surprised because like we had so many suspects, and the one person that actually did kill like Andy was her own sister. She wasn't even a suspect. I didn't even think of her as a suspect. But then when she was describing it, I like you can see that she just lost her temper, and that's what's happened. And then Andy ended up dying. She didn't know that Andy had already had an altercation where she'd hit her head and stuff. And then she tried to kill Pip. When Pip was like, you should just leave. She was trying to let her escape. And the girl was trying to kill her. The heck? Like, this was just some crazy thing going on here. But I still love how like Ravi pulled through. And she's like, "How did you find me?" It's like, you didn't stop the find your friend on your phone, so I just came to you. And then the police announced that Sal was innocent the whole time, which is really nice, especially for like the family. It was definitely nice for them. And I love how they showed up with flowers and chocolate. It was like, so we googled it, and there was no thing to say that you helped get our son exonerated. So we thought flowers and chocolate was the way to go. And it was so cute. And then, like, right at the end, she's doing the presentation. She was like, "So you could probably disqualify me for it because I wasn't supposed to go to family and talk to them, but here we are." But if I hadn't, I probably wouldn't have managed to find out the truth of what really happened. And yeah, that was kind of cute. Like, she was willing to give up her A, like this whole big thing that she was so excited to do, like for her project. She was willing to lose it all just so that she could point out that she actually didn't do it without him. That was cute. I thought that was cute and sweet. And I like how he pointed out too, like, I've never known a professor to give up an A star for me, so yeah. And then he's going back to school as well because he couldn't finish school before because he got bullied out. So that was nice. I'm super excited to read the second book, but now I want to read the series watch the series as well. So I don't know. Maybe I should watch the series, but then I don't want it to. Does the series run into like book two as well? Because I don't want to watch too far, and it turns out it's actually part of book two as well. I don't want to. But I will be watching that too. But I really did enjoy reading this one. It is a 4.75 star. Like I said, it only lost those things because of the dog. I don't think if nothing happened to the dog, I probably would have put it out of 5 star because I really did enjoy it. Like, yeah. So I think if there wasn't no issue with the dog, then it would have been a 5 star for sure. But it is a 4.5. I really did enjoy. Um, yeah, and it's just such a beautiful edition that you know I'm so glad it's going to sit on my shelf. I was worried at first that I wasn't going to like it. I'm not going to lie because I'm not big on like thrillers or mysteries. But I guess I read like Housemaid's Secret this year. What else did I read? I don't know if that's I don't think that's the only thriller I read this year. Is it? Is it? Hmm. Hmm. And this one's like a YA version. That's the adult version. This is YA. So I still did enjoy it. It took me like a few days because obviously I had to keep stopping to take notes for you guys as well. So it took me a while to get through. But overall, I probably just really read most of it yesterday, didn't I? You can nod. So I did read most of it yesterday and finished it. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with that. So the next one I'm pretty sure which we'll do a reading for anyway is Good Girl Bad Blood, I think. So the red one. Hmm? Good Girl Bad Blood. So that will be the next reading vlog, which I'm super excited to get to because I just want to know what happens now that I know that she's going to Cambridge. I'm pretty sure that's what she got in, she said. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, so yay me! I read it. I just didn't like the dog part. I don't think I'm ever gonna let that live down. I swear to God. But yeah, so it is a 4.75 star for me. But yeah. Bye guys.